Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Subsistence Traveling. I'm your host Jay. Today we're talking about 8 foreign oil stocks to buy now. Okay, and this is a very interesting topic. This is probably a long awaited video. A lot of things going for these stocks right now, and now is a perfect time to get in on the action. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity to look at the disclaimer. All right, so let's start with the case for foreign oil. Okay, and those of you who understand the cycles know what time it is. You know inflation is coming. You know the dollar is on its way down. So we use it as a means of currency diversification. Okay, just a way of hedging against a fallen dollar. That's just one case for foreign oil. Number two is China. Okay, China has now become the largest importer of oil, soon to become the largest economy in the world. And China is importing oil like crazy right now. And China is going to have a huge effect on not only oil prices and oil demand. Another thing for oil is oil usage will increase in many parts of the world. I know we hear the arguments, for clean and renewable energy, and a lot of us think it's the end of fossil fuels, but that's not true. What you're seeing is the rise of the East and the fall of the West. So basically, there are countries that will increase their consumption and usage of oil, while there are also countries that will lower and reduce their usage of oil. For instance, with the global climate change, it's a climate change and the whole renewable energy. It's a global movement. But for instance, China will increase its usage of oil, even though it's increasing its usage of renewables as well. They'll definitely be increasing their usage of oil. Africa will increase its consumption of oil. Many places in Asia or Eurasia will also increase their usage of oil. Okay. We look at, last but not least, we have good valuations and dividends. Okay. And another thing to consider when you're talking about the foreign oil companies, most of the foreign oil companies, use more conventional methods of extracting oil versus, you have a lot of non-conventional methods here in the US. One thing though, the oil sands are going to be very important. The Canadian oil sands. So a lot of the Canadian oil stocks are something to look into. I'll talk much more about it as I get into the stocks. Okay, but I encourage you guys to watch this entire video, and even the part where I mentioned other companies that are not listed. You want to watch the entire video because there's lots of information. Okay, and so as always, we have the criteria. We look at profitability, valuation, liquidity and solvency, look at dividends, and we look at the fundamentals of the sector slash industry. Okay. And so the first stock I want to look at is Royal Dutch Shell, ticker symbol RDSA, priced at $41.03, price to book of 1.01, pays a dividend of 3.25%. Okay, and I believe right now this is the best oil company around. When you look at all cylinders, they're clicking on all cylinders. Good balance sheet, well diversified business. Um, they're they have lots of refineries, and that's something that will protect them. That is held up, because refining oil is something that's very important, and refineries tend to do good when oil prices are low and so forth. So very diversified business. Liquid good LNG business, liquefied natural gas, which a lot of people believe natural gas is the future as it pertains to fossil fuels. So Royal Dutch Shell, I believe, is one of the best oil companies out there. Okay, and that is my number one pick. Everything from natural gas to refineries to even clean energy. They're also getting involved in clean energy, carbon capture, you name it. I think they're the best integrated oil company out there. Next is Sinopec, ticker symbol SNP, priced at $55.02. Price to earnings of 11.43, price to book of 0.6, and it pays a dividend of 9.74%. Okay, and this is the largest Chinese oil company. They're also the largest Chinese refiner, and they're also involved in petrochemicals. Okay, so plastics and things of that nature. A very good company. I believe, as we know, China has now become the largest importer of oil. Um, their economy is, one of the best performing economies at this time, at this moment. And going forward, China will be the dominant importer of oil. So I believe Sinopec is one of the best oil stocks you can buy, especially now for the future. And the Chinese will also influence other regions. I mean, the Chinese are going to become very important politically as to not only importing oil, but you know, as far as the exportation of oil, to other regions, because there are other regions of the world where oil usage will increase. So I think Sinopec is a good one. Next is Canadian Natural Resources, ticker symbol CNQ, priced at $27.29, price to book of 1.3, pays a dividend of 4.86%. Again, this is a very good stock. I own this myself. This, again, obviously, we from the name, it implies that it's a Canadian company. They, like I said, a diversified business, um, liquefied natural gas, good exploration business. Their exploration business is very good. And that will be especially the fact that a lot of production and exploration has been offline for such a long period. Exploration business will be very important going forward. Like I said, and then also the oil sands. Like I mentioned earlier, the oil sands will be very important. Like I said, with the long the long delays and the lack of production, you've had lack of production for over a year. Um, ex um, you're going to need some non-conventional methods of extracting oil, and the oil sands, I believe, is gonna become very important. And Canadian Natural Resources gives you exposure to oil sands, natural gas, very diversified as far as the jurisdictions in which they extract oil. So a good company to look at. Next is Ecopetrol, ticker symbol EC, priced at 12.25, price to earnings of 41.69, price to book of 1.8, pays a dividend of 7.25%. Okay, and this is the major oil company in Colombia. Um, Colombia is if I'm not mistaken, one of the largest exporters of oil to the United States, and I believe with with what has happened so far with a lot of the shale companies and so forth, I believe we'll be importing more oil from Colombia. And Colombia is one of the few countries that have not only oil, but they have a lot of refineries to refine the oil. So they can possibly ship us refined oil. As opposed to many countries that have a lot of oil, but the oil has to be refined when it gets here. So it's definitely something you may want to look at. And also you have the Chinese down there in South America. Again, they're just buying up a lot of the oil. When you look at a lot of these South American oil companies, they're they're profitable versus a lot of the other oil companies because again it's the Chinese down there just buying up. So yeah, definitely something to look into. We have CNOOC, ticker symbol CEO, priced at 118.74, price to earnings of 8.39, price to book of 0.8, pays a dividend of 4.34%. Okay, and this is another Chinese oil company. They focus on the offshore part of the business, but they also have they're integrated, so they have a very diversified business. And they're doing a lot of things around the world. They're invested in there's a pipeline being built in Africa, I believe, from Uganda to Tanzania, and they're very instrumental in that. So definitely a good company. Like I said, the three major oil companies in China are all buys, in my opinion. Okay. However, one thing to point out, there's a possibility that this stock may be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange as a result of a the presidential order, the executive order that was given by President Trump maybe a few months ago. So from what I understand, they're going to be appealing this, but it's a possibility that this may get delisted. Next is Imperial, ticker symbol IMO, priced at 21.96, price to book of 0.96, pays a dividend of 3.16%. Okay, and this is another Canadian integrated oil company. They're the largest refiner in Canada. And, definitely Canada is going to be very interesting going forward. If you ask me what economy will perform better between the US and Canada, I would have to say Canada. But yeah, this is definitely something to look at. They're backed by ExxonMobil, so definitely something to look at. Like I said, they're the largest refiner up in Canada, and I believe their business should do very well. They have exposure to oil sands, and I believe the oil sands are going to be very hot going forward. So definitely. So I mean, I was looking at this when it was I think around $11, but yeah, I wish I had bought it, but yeah, nice company to look at. Last but not least is Petrobras, ticker symbol PBR, priced at $7.93, price to earnings of 40.81, price to book of 0.94, pays a dividend of 4.74%. Okay, and as we all know, this is the state-owned oil company in Brazil. Um, I don't particularly like the balance sheet for this particular company. I mean, currently they're profitable, as opposed to a lot of oil companies that are not profitable. But I don't like their balance sheet. However, they are paying down debt. They're paying down their debt. Um, like I said, revenue is rising and they're paying down debt. So, I would consider this one. Um, Again, China down. Like I said, China is buying up a lot of the oil from the down there in South America, and yeah, as going forward, you know, China is going to be very instrumental, and especially with the what's going on between the U.S. and China. You may have a situation where the Chinese may not want to, mess with a lot of the Western, the European, and the U.S. oil companies. So, like I said, they've been buying up a lot of the oil down in Brazil. So, yeah, this may be a good momentum stock in this particular sector. Last but not least is PetroChina, ticker symbol PTR, priced at 35.76, price earnings of 22.99, price to book of 0.35, pays a dividend of 7.06%. Excellent valuation, good dividend. This is the largest oil company in China. Um, you know, like I said, I'm bullish on all the Chinese, on all the three major Chinese oil companies. I'm bullish. Um, as far as how long the companies will be listed here, I'm not sure, but I'm bullish on the Chinese. I believe, like I said, it's the rise of the East and the fall of the West. And in there they run a mercantile economy where they actually produce goods, and so the demand for oil, well, in an economy where goods are produced, you're going to need fossil fuels. Okay, and so here's some other companies to look at. We look at YPFSA. This is the largest oil company in Argentina. This I consider this a momentum stock. They are I don't like the balance sheet again, but assets are very cheap down in Argentina due to the devaluation of their currency. And so like I said, the Chinese are down there buying up a lot of the oil and the raw materials and things of that nature. So I actually consider YPFSA to be a possibly a momentum stock in this environment. It's a low dollar value. I think it's like $4 and something. Um, yeah, it's something. I mean, for as a long term investor, it may not be something you may want to look. But if you're a trader, you may want to look at that stock. Suncor, ticker symbol SU. Again, a Canadian play. Like I said about the oil sands, you may want to look at it. Warren Buffett has a position in the company. Okay. Total, ticker symbol TOT, a French oil company, integrated. Um, Big on they have renewable energy. A lot of the European oil companies, you know, they're big on renewable energy. Um, Total also has electricity, I think generation business, a power business, and so forth. So it's a very diversified company. Um, you know, Equinor is, especially if you're concerned about the renewable energy as it pertains to fossil fuels. Equinor is like the best of the both worlds because as far as they have a big exploration business as far as it comes to gas and oil and gas. So they have a big exploration business, but on the opposite side of that, they have um, of a huge renewable energy business, wind turbines and solar and all of that things of that nature. So it's the best of both worlds. In in an environment of rising oil prices, this is a Equinor would be a good stock. I'm not. I don't like again. I don't like the balance sheet, but in a period of rising oil stock and rising oil prices, Equinor would be a good stock to buy again with because they have a good exploration business, and when oil prices are going up, exploration does very well. And then, like I said, they also have the renewable energy component. BP, British Petroleum. Again, like I said, the Europeans are very diversified with it. They have the oil and gas business, and as well as the renewable energy aspect to it. We have Sasol, ticker symbol SSL. This is the largest oil company in South Africa. But they also have, plants and refineries, petrochemical plants here in the U.S. and across the world. You know, oil demand should increase in Africa, but you know, hopefully, I guess a company like Sasol could take advantage of because the continent, I mean, there's lots of oil on the continent of Africa, but then there's so many, you know, things that, like for instance, there's lots of oil, but then there's not lots of refineries, so it's a lot of, just strange things there in Africa. Last but not least, we have Cenovus Energy, another Canadian integrated oil company. Heavy investment in this company by the Chinese. Okay, so definitely wanted to look at. All right, so guys, I hope you guys, I hope you and like I said, I believe oil should go to 100 or even beyond 100. I think oil, when you have the lack of production, you've had lack of production for such a long time, and it's not easy to get production back. Once you start production, you cannot get the production back to how it was. That's how, when you're dealing with something like oil, that's how it is. So I think you're gonna have shortages. You're gonna have some shortages, so you'll see that happening. Also, natural gas is something that I believe. Yeah, I'm long oil and long natural gas. So, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. As I hope that you can like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, peace, peace to all.